the screen. Load that back down. And we are live. All right, guys, welcome back to another Drunken podcast. The trade deadline has gone past, and no more trades will be allowed for this season. Zenon, in your expert opinion, how was this trade deadline? Was it super busy for you guys, or is it easier than previous seasons?
No, it was actually a little quiet. I tried to remember as this thing was going on, and I think last season on the final 24 hours, I think we did 17 trades, and this season we did 10.
Jesus,
so it was a little more quiet
trades.
than normal. Yeah. It was insane.
That's brutal. All right. Well. Damn. Yeah, it has been a pretty quiet. I did bring up a couple trades that I feel like we need to go over, and then if you guys want to go over a couple trades that you want to pick out, or talk about a little bit the ones that I brought up. But other than that, let's introduce the crew. We got Winnipeg Jets fan from Calgary. It's usually the part where you say hello. But all right, moving on. We got Canadian Bacon from Nashville.
What up?
And then we got Zenden, the Warlock, the president, the CEO, the greasing wheel that makes IHL move.
I don't know about all that.
Did you send this link to the?
I did send the link to. I posted the link. Like I said, my computer's giving me issues right now. I sent the link. Everyone should have got it. Just no one wants to listen to us.
Listening to it. Click that link.
Pardon?
I'm just talking to Ottawa because he said he wanted to join.
I sent them the link to join. It was in the owner's room. It says click link to join. It's right there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just telling him if he's listening, that's what he has to do to join in.
Oh, actually, it's 8:59. Yeah, okay. Well, like I said, people asked me to join at the last moment. I kind of don't want to have to walk everyone through how to do it. But anyways, guys, please, we have our sponsor. Our sponsor, guys, ILHL.net brand T-shirts. Get them now. $17.99, $5 extra for custom name and number. Contact Tank. That's right, TANK. Almost forgot how to spell Tank there. Tank on Xbox. No numbers, just Tank. And see where that gets you.
I don't think Tank knows how to spell Tank.
I've been mentioning it for the last 3 podcasts that he should probably add the actual gamer tag on the site, and has yet not to be changed. So I guess he doesn't want people buying shirts. Anyways, busy week. We got lots to talk about. I think Bacon has a couple issues to bring up. Whatever. Lost train of thought because someone just walked right past me. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, Bacon has a lot to talk about. Jets, did you do any power rankings for this week or no?
No. But, I mean, I can tell you what I think just from looking at the standings.
That works. I figured you'd get lazy by a certain part of the season and just stop doing them. That's what most people do. And then – sorry? Go ahead.
It's still the same standings as since week 3. So there's I don't know. The teams haven't really changed much.
Yeah, some teams have changed. I mean, Toronto keeps going up and down. Look at Toronto with that minus 28. Suck. Fuck. Okay, so we got you. Normally we have. See, this is what's fucking me up. Normally we have Doss here, and Doss does the stats, and Doss isn't around because he has some personal issues. So we're gonna be going through his weekly breakdown. And then we'll talk a couple trades. What do you guys want to start off with first? You want to talk about some of the trades that were made? Do you want to do the weekly breakdown?
You said you were going to mention a couple trades, so you can just start with that.
Couple trades. All right, number 1 trade of the week, in my opinion, was between Toronto and Ottawa. I am a little biased in this because it was me being traded off Toronto. And I got traded for some no name, and they used a token. That's right. They priority trade that shit Wednesday.
When they want you out, they want you out.
Yeah. I kind of saw it coming when I left the team chat after being subbed out a game I should have played, but that's it is what it is. Toronto itself had a bad week. And I will say this about Toronto, since before we even get into the weekly standings, because they did fall 2 places in the weekly standings. They don't have any chemistry up front, and it shows a lot with our goals for and our goals against. And just as a defenseman, you were all going to make mistakes, and it's just a bad week for everyone. But hey, at the end of the week, someone's got to go. Like in real life, if the team's doing bad, either it goes with the coach, the upper management, or a couple of trades need to be made. So I ended up getting the one booted out, went to Ottawa, and I'm happy to be on my 4th East team of the season. Any thoughts on this trade, guys?
4th.
Yeah. Detroit. No, okay. 3rd. Detroit.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, Detroit, Toronto, and Ottawa. Sorry. Well, if the trade would have got reversed, I would have most likely been traded to Philadelphia. Because I think at one point, so then I would have been on 4 different East teams, even though I wouldn't have played for one technically. But I would have been on the roster, so I was there. I could have said I was there. I think so.
Well, I think Ottawa just sealed their fate of being knocked out of the playoffs quick if they make it. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Game 7 over turnover and game winner.
Why do you guys gotta be so mean to the new owner who stepped up to take over after Big Wet Pussy left, huh? You guys
We're not being mean to the owner. We're being mean to you.
Yes, yeah.
You're taking it out on the team. All right. Anyway.
Reaper's not here, so somebody needs to hold you down.
No one really does. No, and when Reaper's gone is when Cobra's actually happy. Jerks.
All right, we'll keep you happy.
All right, so that trade out of the way. Okay, so who'd you think won out of the trade? And of course, you guys are gonna say fuck it, Toronto, because you're assholes. But go ahead.
Toronto.
Yeah.
No reason, just Toronto.
Well, I would say Ottawa won that trade. I have no idea who Kucherov 88 is. So,
okay, 1-1. Bacon.
He
Bacon, you're
changed
to the
his gamer
side.
tag. I'm gonna go with Toronto.
Addition by subtraction.
Gone. All right, the other trade I want to talk about is with your team, Dallas and Philly trade. This one kind of stands out because you got my boy Armac being traded out of Dallas for crispy kids. I think I know. I don't know the other guy. So being part of the team that made that trade, can you speak a little bit on it, Zenon?
Realistically, I mean, Armac didn't even show up for us all week. He was disgruntled the whole time he was with the team, and asked for a trade, and so we sent him away. That's all. We don't even know a whole heck of a lot about the 2 guys we got. But again, it's another case of addition by subtraction. We got a cool team. We got a bunch of guys that like each other and all that, and he's just an angry dude, and we had to ship him out.
It's an angry.
So he's shipped. He is. Took a flyer on a couple of guys. Yeah. He's definitely an angry dude. This is a dude. I'm going to put him on blast right now. Okay.
That's what we want.
He wasn't getting any playing time in Tampa when he was there. We know the guy's got some talent, so we made a trade for him. We automatically asked him to play center on our top line. The very first game he plays at center, I don't even remember who we played, but we beat them 7-0, and he had 5 points. He refused to show up for the second game because he didn't want to play center.
Mm-hmm. Realistically, what position did you sign up as? Because, that's the same thing. Snoopy tried to make me play left D one game, and I'm like, no, I don't want to play left D. I don't feel comfortable at left D. I'm going to have a shit game at left D. So I played right D. We still lost, but, I signed up as a right defenseman. I kind of want to play right D, right?
Yeah, sure. I understand that part. But, you're not getting any time at the team you're on. You're sitting around on TC and nobody's paying attention to you. You think you'd welcome the opportunity to at least get some games. And then you get the game and you play well there. You're playing on the top line on the team. You put up 5 points and you don't show up for the second game. Come on.
What a donk.
Fair enough.
So he played about two more games or 3 more games for us or something, and whined and cried. We moved him back to right wing where he goes. He struggled there, and because instead of being on the top line with 2 really good skaters, he ended up on the second line with 2 lesser players, and there you go.
Who
It
were the
was
lesser
actually
players?
I don't remember who it was now.
Vegas.
What's that?
I think it was 7-3 against Vegas is the game you're talking about. The very first game of the week.
Nah, it was 10 days ago or 2 weeks ago.
Oh, way back. All right. That was against Toronto on October 26th.
They've been
that
trying.
makes sense.
They've been trying to move him. They've been trying to move him for a little last 2 weeks, at least, as I remember it. All right, so I'm going to say Dallas wins in this trade because, yes, even though I don't really recognize the people they're trading for, they are getting rid of a drama piece on their team, and then hopefully these 2 guys, these 2 TC players, will pick it up for you guys. Even though you went 3, 4, and 2 or something.
3, 4, and 3, I think.
Okay, sorry.
The one guy that we called up as part of the deal, SX Trefezen, or whatever you want to call his name, Treff, he has to be called. I think we're actually going to call him Chester instead of Treff because Treff is just kind of
or douchebag.
No, we're just calling him Treff.
No, just call him douchebag because who wants a regular name?
He's Chester.
Okay.
So Chester's going to get a shot at playing some D for us. He's the one that we called up as part of the deal, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Bacon, who do you think won in this trade?
Dallas.
Dallas and fuckface, Winnipeg Jets fan. Forgot your name there for a second.
I'm gonna go with Philly.
Philly won that trade. All right, there we go. Moving on. Verdict has been rendered. This is not the trade I want to look at. No, this is not the one. Where is it? Okay, I'm gonna look for that one. But the meantime, okay, I don't want to talk about this trade at all unless one of you guys wants to. Minnesota trades Mox Rocks to Colorado for no pucks given. I'm gonna try to find the trade I want to find.
Nah, nobody cares about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I'm like, that's not the one I want to look at. I don't know why.
Which one are you looking for?
You know exactly which one I'm looking for. You fucking cocksucker. I'm gonna load it up. Here, close. Shh, it's a surprise. Give me a second here. This is by far the dumbest trade all season long. I gotta find it now.
I'm gonna say Nashville won the trade.
Where the fuck is it? All right, here it is.
It too.
2 days ago.
Or this trade.
All right, here we go. New York Islanders trades Devil's Night, who they've been trying to move all fucking season for Chislett. Like, this is the funny thing is, every single team that's had Chislett, it's been the exact same offer, pretty much. And then they trade Mystic Frog for Chislett. And he goes to the New York Islanders after we roasted him on last week's podcast for fucking player tampering because he wanted to go to the Islanders. You have to be the cocksucker that sends him there. So, like, what do you have to say for yourself, Bacon? Huh?
What do you mean? I got a good deal out of it. Man. I got 2 for 1. I think that's a good deal.
That doesn't make it a good deal because you got 2 for 1. You got two. Yeah. You got 2 dog shit for like a player that's.
Well, so
I think Devil's Night is pretty good. When I've played against him, he's held his own. I don't think Devil's Night.
Well, yeah, it's against Calgary.
Wow.
to put it like this, like one player doesn't make your team, right? I picked them up off of Ottawa because I had HK Greg and who was the other guy?
What'd you trade Ottawa for to begin with? I didn't see that. I forgot that trade.
Stoner DP. So Stoner DP and HK Greg. HK Greg was in my TC, and DP or Stoner DP was I picked him up off of waivers.
So you basically traded 2 no-name nothing players and got Chislett, even though you knew he probably wouldn't play for you.
Exactly.
You knew
and not that he wouldn't play for you. He would have played. He wouldn't have played his hardest or whatever. and then you
Probably
flipped him over
too.
to. Then you flipped him over for So you traded 2 TC guys for a halfway decent Devil's Night and some other guy we never heard of.
Yeah, I missed it.
Some other guy we've never heard of. I hope these people that we fucking say we've never heard of are listening. I really do.
Well, I hope they make us want to hear him.
Who cares about this trade? Never heard of this guy.
Doc's supposed to know. I don't know if he's asking what I'm drinking or what all of us are drinking. Bacon, I think you said you're sober for tonight because you're a DD tonight.
I drive, yeah.
As am I.
What do you? Nice. What are you drinking, Zenon? What are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking a coffee stout and sipping on some of that Jameson we had a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I still have it. I think next week I'm gonna finish it off. I'm finishing. I had the 2 Jack Daniels from last week. I just finished off the honey. I didn't get to finish the whole thing last time, and now I started on the Tennessee Sour Mash Whiskey, which is fucking nasty. But I'm like, fuck it. Dude, it's nasty. It's fucking gross. It really is. I'm like, I should have went with Captain Morgan or something. You know what I mean? Like, got so much better stuff aside. But I'm like, I gotta drink it now. I'm gonna
put hair on your chest.
So I never have to look at it again. Yeah, for sure. All right. I don't know. I look at this trade and it just pisses me off because it's not so much that you did it. It's just that 3 other owners turned down Devil's Night, and you're the one that's like, yeah, Devil's Night, bring him here. I just don't like the fact that Chislett went to the team that he's been fucking around with all season to get to. That's my major pick with it. You know what I mean? It might be a little biased, but he's a fucking trade brokering scumbag. So I mean, that's just me. Whew. So who won in this trade there, Zendon?
Well, I mean, I think both teams won.
Okay.
Obviously the big winner's Chislett. He got to go where he wanted to go in the first place, which sucks, but it happened.
Well,
the Islanders got the player they wanted and the chemistry that they wanted because him and Haxby are partners there. Are they gay, by the way? I don't know.
No, the way it's been described to me.
Okay.
No, the way it's been described to me is like Haxby. It's like that one chick you fucked that one night who just doesn't get that it was a one night stand. And Haxby's that dude, and Chislett is the chick who keeps calling. That's how it's been explained to me.
So they fucked.
Okay, well that makes sense.
And now Chislett wants to fuck again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he wants that Haxby dick. That's as far as I get it.
Okay, that's cool.
All right, who do you think?
But Nashville won in the deal too because they traded 2 names and got a decent player back for it. So I think it's a win all the way around and a loss for the league and for
it's a loss for
honesty.
It's a loss
I guess
for justice.
It's a loss for humanity.
What do you think, Jets? Who won in this trade?
I agree completely with Zendon. There's no loser in this trade. Chislett probably wasn't going to play for Nashville anyways, so
stick him in your fucking TC. But look, bitch, it's the last week.
Whoa.
I don't have to trade you.
Well, this goes back to
sit there.
This goes back to the whole argument that we start having, even before the season with Fred. What do? If you're the owner who's got the player that is not going to play for you,
you trade him, of course.
Yeah, of course, because you're not going to sit him and get nothing for it.
Exactly.
I fucking would.
So it sucks.
Fuck all you pussy owners. I got a player like that. He's getting fucked. Fuck. I don't care if I'm getting fucked with them. He's getting fucked too. No, I don't give a shit. I don't stand for that stuff.
Question for Alan is, why did you guys trade Boston?
Who?
Dallas.
Oh, jeez. You really want to go there?
Someone's breathing really heavily into the mic.
We drafted Boston. I don't know if you know that or not.
I think, I somewhat knew.
The reason we traded him in the first place is because he's an arrogant little prick. And he pissed off the whole team before the season even started. So we shipped him out. We took him back in the deal because we knew he had at least some value, and you didn't want him anymore. So we kind of had an idea the entire time that we were just going to flip him. And if we couldn't, he was just going to go to TC and rot anyway. We never added him to the team chat or anything. And the opportunity came to make that second deal. And we flipped him off. That's all.
It's actually not that I didn't want him. I didn't mind having him on our I had no problems with him when he was on our team. We just needed a second goalie, and Blue's a good goalie, so I feel like
definitely.
But
we had a surplus of goalies, so it made sense to deal all the way around. I mean, we got a good D man out of it.
Oh yeah, solid.
That getting Reaper allowed us to make the move that we made to trade away Lanky, because it gave us that extra D man that we didn't have before. So all these things tie in, and you end up where you end up. I mean, we traded away some good players. We got back some good players. I mean, I think we have 8 new players in the last 2 days.
Did you guys get Losh? Did he go to you guys? Is that who you?
Yep.
Or Boston, right?
You guys got Losh?
So
yes, yeah, that was the last 2. No, he won't. You don't have to worry about that.
Oh, I'm not worried. I'm hoping for it. There's a difference.
That's okay. We desperately needed another offensive player that can put the puck in the net. And I've played with Losh a couple of times on different teams, and he plays every position, and he plays them all really well. And I told him when he got in our team chat, I was introducing him to some of the guys that never played with him before, and I said Losh is a lot like me. He plays every position. The only difference is he's good and I'm not. So
what I'm interested to see is what's going to happen with Vegas now, because they have Naughty Priest as their one goalie, but Losh was the guy who I think was playing goalie for them as their second goalie.
He's a stellar goalie, by the way. I've had him on my team playing that before.
And now they have 2, or they only have one goalie. Boston Bruins is technically their other goalie, but he told me last week, before the week even started, when I put him in net. It's hard to read him.
Well, I mean,
he told me he would play goalie, and then I put him in net, and then he asked me why he was playing goalie. So I told him, and then he said he doesn't want to play goalie anymore after that. So I was like,
he's a weird kid.
All right, so since we're talking about that, and we're talking about Boston Bruins, we're talking Losh. I pulled up the trade. You traded Lanky,
my buddy Lanky,
and Boston Bruins to Vegas for Losh and some Johnson dude. So Lanky, who's been on your team since what? You guys got him off St. Louis, as I remember, right? He started off on St. Louis.
Yes.
Beginning of the season. I think preseason you guys traded for him, so you've had him all season. You trade Boston Bruins, which is okay. That's a no-brainer. So why'd you trade Lanky? What was the issue there?
There wasn't an issue at all. It was a matter of us needing another offensive player, and he was the, I guess, most valuable commodity we had that JD needed, that JD wanted. We made a few offers. We were back and forth a bunch, and that's what JD settled on.
Fair enough. All right, moving on to the last trade made, and I think that'll wrap it up for what I have to talk about trades, unless you guys have anything else to bring up. And we got the Montreal trades, Dabuz, my boy, to Chicago for Swift Pup, Dan Hutton. I know they've been trying to move Swift Pup all season. Since none of us are on these teams, we can't really comment too much on them. But who do you think wins in this trade, Zenden? Start it off with you, bud.
I guess that really depends on what Dan Hutton is going to do when he gets to Montreal. If he's going to be a part of that team, he's a really good player, and he'll help that team a bunch. But you never know with Dan Hutton what you're getting, which is one of the reasons we stayed away from him.
Mm-hmm.
So, go ahead.
No, you go. I thought you were finished, but go ahead.
We'll go to Jets. We'll go to Jets next. Okay, so who do you think won in this?
I think that.
I don't say both teams.
No, I think that Chicago won.
Chicago
I think
won.
Chicago won. They were looking for another really steady defenseman. They had been lacking that. They've been struggling in some games because teams were hanging in with them because their defense wasn't stopping anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
And
That's 100%. Yeah.
And I know they were making a play for quite a few guys. They wanted a first pair or a 1A defenseman, and they got one. DeBooz is a good player. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out.
All right, Jets, you're next.
I also think Chicago won this trade. DeBooz is real good. And, I mean, Chicago losing the two players that they lost is not going to affect them really at all. They weren't outstanding players on that team. So maybe they could help out Montreal, but Montreal's going downhill in my opinion.
Okay. Bacon?
Especially in the 11:30 games.
Bacon?
I'm gonna say Chicago.
Chicago?
Just cause.
Just fuck it. Go with what everyone else is saying. I feel like playing devil's advocate, but it would just be silly of me. I think DeBooz is a mediocre player at best, but I do think Chicago wins because yet they get another defenseman who is active, who will show up to games that he's scheduled for, and will give them exactly what they need: decent defense to go with their already outstanding offense. So Chicago wins that trade for sure. Before
realistically,
we wrap up,
it gives them the opportunity to move Poppy back up to offense where he belongs. He hasn't he's been playing a bunch of defense lately.
You know what's funny?
Because they've been hurting.
For all those teams that say, yeah, we beat Chicago, or yeah, we held in there with Chicago, and we only lost by one. Note that Chicago hasn't been trying since week 2. And they've been playing like forwards at goalie, defense at forwards. Like they've been fucking around with their lineup so much. So for all those guys who've been like, yeah, man, we almost beat the best team in the league. They're not trying. They haven't been trying since week 2. They know they're going to the cup, and it's most egotistical.
They're going to the conference.
Look, unless the only way Chicago gets beat is if they beat themselves. There's no way they have to literally beat themselves for them not to make it to the Western Finals, for them not to win the cup. That's how I've seen a lot of good teams lose. A lot of like top-notch teams in previous leagues that I've been in, and I've seen in this league as well, is really good teams going in, and then they beat themselves. They don't play like they were playing all season, and then they fucking lose.
I mean, realistically, that team did it last year when they were Arizona.
I think
that's just one example.
I don't know. I disagree with that, but maybe that's just because we were the team that knocked them out. The
fact that you were in the finals was pure luck.
We lost I think 5 playoff games throughout the whole playoffs.
That's good. It's good. You had an active 2 lines. Congratulations.
I think that's one of the keys to the playoffs. You got 2 good lines, you should be able to go far.
Yeah, you got to have 2 lines, obviously. Anyone knowing it, you got to have a 2-line system. You got to have 2 set lines. And a lot of what kills a lot of teams and what a lot of new owners will realize when they make the playoffs is availability will fucking kill your chemistry. Availability is the biggest bitch in playoffs. And some teams really get fucked over. I've gotten fucked over in the past by it. If you have a good team, sometimes the best players aren't the best approach because their availability is shit. When you get to the playoffs, you want players with really good availability, which sounds like great advice, but trade deadlines pass, so you're all fucked.
That's the exact thing that happened to us last season. I don't know if you guys remember Above the Law. Cobra, you weren't even playing, so you probably don't.
I remember Above the Law, but go ahead.
He was arguably our best player, and he was our number 1 center. Played all his games throughout the whole playoffs. As soon as we got to the finals, he had a work thing that week. He went to an academy or whatever, so he was totally away.
Yeah, exactly.
And we didn't have him. Sure. And we ended up, I mean, we only lost in game.
Yeah, but that's just the thing, availability, right? All right, so that wraps up the trade part, unless anyone else has any other trades they want to bring up. Bacon, you've been kind of quiet.
I'm not drinking.
All right. Okay.
I got one more.
I'm not
I got
drunk
one
enough
more
for this podcast.
I have one more trade I want to bring up. Your favorite player was traded again this weekend.
Wait, let me bring it up before you talk about it. What trade are we talking about here?
This is the Detroit and Boston trade.
I think I saw it here. Detroit and Boston. My favorite player.
Yep.
I have a lot of favorite players. Ah, there he is. There he is. All right. I think you just want to bring this one up, just whatever. But yeah, Detroit's been trying to move fuckface for a while here. So yeah, shit. Detroit to Boston. No one. Okay, so who won in this trade? Because I already know Boston won in this trade. No, sorry, Detroit won in this trade. Even though I hate Snoopy. So Sending, go ahead.
Nobody won because because Ghost is a jackass and he'll play 2 games a week if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And
if he likes you.
Yeah, exactly. And even if he does, it doesn't matter. Which is why we offed him in the first place. And
well, yeah, he was on Dallas before, right? So
yeah, who wasn't? I think everybody in the league's been on Dallas before.
Except me. Except me. I've been in the East, hiding from Dallas.
I think we have 2 original players left aside from Blaine, if I remember right. No, 3.
You're winning then.
Prophet, me, and Sausage are the only 3 left, I think, from what he drafted.
And I believe Profits wanted out twice. Profits twice.
Profits was frustrated because we had no offense, and he would be putting up, 1 goal or 2 goals he'd give up, and we'd still lose. So,
well, looking at these weekly standings, yeah, I don't think your offense has improved much.
We're getting there. We got 7 new players, pal. I want to talk about Profit actually really quick because I've heard a lot of people. We talked about a lot of trades this week. We obviously made, I think, 5 of them or something like that in the last 4 or 5 days. And, just about everybody was available on our team for the right deal. And I heard a lot of people that don't like Profit out there. And I got to tell you, this dude I love this guy. He's fun. He's dry, sarcastic, funny. He posts weird memes in the team chat all the time. He's a funny dude.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So
I like him. I like having him on the team. Yeah, and he's really competitive. I mean, that's where his issue comes in. I know he'd gotten the reputation of he requests trades a lot, and so I guess he'd gotten a bad name for that, and that may be why he's got a few people out there that have an axe to grind with him. But I think the guy's funny as hell, and he's a really damn good goaltender. So, all right. So,
all right. Okay, Bacon. Let's hit up with your section, man. I think you wanted to talk about a league issue here that I kind of agree with, and I wanted you to kind of touch on it. You sent me a bunch of screenshots. You ready for that, bud?
Yeah. Give me 1 sec here.
All right. So before we get to the weekly standings, Bacon wants to rant about something.
Okay, so I had nothing to do last night, and I was just going through certain teams, and I found some interesting stuff about the stats, about teams getting blown out and not putting their stats in. Let it be like 7-2, or 7-0, or 6-0, and pardon me,
9-2.
9-2. There's a bunch of them out there, and for me, it's kind of frustrating because I put in all my stats when we are losing, winning, and my plus minus is shit. Everybody on my team's plus minus is shit, right? And I don't think it's fair that these teams don't put their stats in, even if they lose like 5-1, 3-1, or whatever, and have the negative against their stats. Because everybody that I talk to, or that like wanted to do trades and stuff with me, or like, look at this guy's stats, look at that guy's stats. Well, if you're not putting the guy's stats in on your loss, obviously he's not going to get a negative. He's always going to be on the positive. And this is just a couple teams, mainly Vegas.
Yeah, I was gonna say, from the screenshots I've seen that you've sent me, it seems like Vegas seems to be a main part of it.
Yeah, and who's to say that their players aren't playing 7 or 8 games, right? Like I know,
Okay.
and no one is monitoring this,
Wait, what's this?
but you know, it's pretty interesting to look at.
Are you guys seeing this? For this one game, Philly versus Ottawa. Ottawa doesn't have stats inputted, and Kuzner has 2 goals and 23 assists.
And I'm gonna.
That Kuzner's good, man.
I don't know. Is that the results of the game, or is that just Philly stats in general? I don't know. I can't tell from these screenshots here. That's fucked up.
Yeah, you got to go back to the thing, but yeah, there's more than just what I've shown you guys on there. Not putting in stats, but there's some fishy stuff going on where, there's a couple points here and there that I'm pretty sure the person didn't get, or a couple 25 hits in one game I saw. I don't know. I haven't seen that, but I've seen
25 hits in one game could happen. I mean, it's very unlikely.
If the dude's trying to go for hits, so I've seen it.
Yeah.
But that could also be I mean, like you see here, Kuzner has 23 assists in one game. I don't think that's correct.
That's probably a mistake.
That's impossible.
Yeah,
I think the more interesting thing about that is if he got recorded for 23 assists in that game, that means he's only had 2 assists in the other 14 games he played, which that does sound more like Kuzner that we all know.
Okay, so Zenon, since you're in here and you've been staffed a lot longer than me, I mean, I know there's certain ways that I would go about handling in previous leagues, but I'm new to IOHL, so like, what would you say to Bacon bringing this up? And I don't want to put you on the spot if you don't feel like answering right now. It's just that we touched base on this a little bit yesterday in the owner's room, and I thought Bacon was, and Bacon, it's the same way you would catch someone's stat padding. You don't like bring it out in the open. You monitor them for a while, and then you'd be like, when you start to see a consistent pattern and the things that keep adding up, then you can be like, then you can ultimately rule that these aren't mistakes, that this person is generally stat padding. It could be said the same thing for Vegas. But what do you think, Senna? Sorry, Bacon. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So the reason why I did that is because I don't think anybody intends on cheating. And if they do, like I said in the owner's room, if they're gonna cheat, you got to be fucking good at it, because for some reason I'm good at catching that kind of shit, and I see that kind of
Someone
stuff.
Just yawned. Someone just yawned.
I like to be straight up honest with you, man. I believe in karma, right? So that's where I'm going with it, right? But anyhow, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, what do you think about this, Endon? Since you've been a league official here longer.
It's definitely an issue. The bigger issue is that unless staff comes and goes through every single game of every single team every single day, there's nothing built into the back end of the program to track this kind of stuff. And it's an issue, we've talked about in staff quite a bit. And that's really about all I can say on it.
Yeah, the thing that I saw on the new system or whatever too, I forget whose game it was, but I saw they had pictures of the game in the stats, which is pretty cool. I don't know how they got them in there, but you could see the pictures of
there's a thing on the top that says add media.
Yeah.
Once we get to playoffs, we generally require that the winning team adds the pictures to the thing. So that way, once you get to playoffs, you know that everything's on the up and up.
So
yeah, you definitely got to take screenshots, especially with playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyhow, besides that, besides that, my main concern about it, right? And I put it out there so that the owners, someone could come forward and say, oh, I missed a couple games and this and that. That's all cool and stuff like that. But hey, Cobra, go back to the standings there for a sec, if you can.
Yeah. I was just checking through regular stats here.
So you're at the standings here, right? And you look at the East, right? And you look how tight the East is. Who's to say that the player hasn't played 8 games during that week against the toughest teams to keep their team up in the standings? You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
There's a bunch of Islanders are at 46 games. Detroit's at 48 games. Is that just like games that are like forfeits? Like, what's up with that, Sudden?
That's just people who didn't put their stats in yet. I mean, the West is fucking on their game, other than Minnesota.
Yeah. Minnesota and St. Louis.
Who cares about Minnesota? They can play.
Yeah, they even play their games? I have no idea.
Yeah, they play them. Yo, give a shout out to Brand, man. Brand Flakes there or even I should say the actual owner, Snook, for keeping that team going every night. It's tough being a bottom place team. It's even tougher when you only got like 1 win on the season. I think they have 2 actually. I think the stats are in. So they have 2 wins on the season. So it's tough to even be in that position running a team to finish off the season without folding. So, props to them for managing to get that shit together for that. So, yeah.
I've done it before.
Yeah. You're Canadian bacon. You're a legend. All right.
I can proudly say I've never done that before.
I have.
See, the
anyhow, Cobra or Jets, do you guys have any thoughts on it or any solutions or any?
Most owners are dickheads. So if every owner was a perfect owner, a winning team would just put in both team stats, and that would be that. If you're putting in your team stats and you're on there, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to just put the other team stats in. It literally takes 5 minutes. I don't know.
And that is true, and you have 24 hours.
Editing your guys' stats, it's select their players and put their stats in. It's really easy. I mean, obviously that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's just all these guys bragging about how good their stats are, right? And I just kind of laugh at it because, you've played say 20 games and you got 88 points or whatever. But what about those games you lost, right? You're
with
plus
a lot. Yeah,
right?
A lot of minus.
Yeah, right. And even on their wins, they got like 18 wins and like 2 losses, right? When they should have like 5 losses or 6 losses. And a lot of these like new owners and whatnot, and they look at stats over anything else. They don't really know all the players, right? So I think that affects everything down the line if you really look at it, But
it definitely can.
Yeah.
So there's nothing you can really do about it now. But to all you people out there that aren't putting your stats in when you lose,
Fuck
you can fucking eat me.
Yeah,
what the fuck? It didn't save.
And it just keeps people awake at night. Bacon's up all night, sending me messages at 1:30.
It's like fucking cheating bastards. There you go. I have a custom screenshot to show you guys. There you go. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Anyhow.
All right. So, I mean, I would go into the topic, but to be honest, dude, I could probably sit here talking about it for like an hour.
Yeah.
Being as a former league owner, and believe me, you wouldn't be the first person I've had the conversation with. I think there are a couple methods to go about it, but short of watching every single fucking game, it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing for the league to manage. And for the playoffs, they're definitely on key with it, and I think that's a little bit more important, especially for when you have such strict line rules. All right. Moving on to everyone's favorite section of the week, we got Doss's Corner without Doss. Fucking asshole. No, I'm joking. He's got personal issues. what he was going through. Oh, God rest the fuck. All right, so we got, of course, Chicago at the top, Colorado, who made a shitload of moves the trade deadline. I think they made like 4 trades today or something. Is that right, Sundin? I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
too mistaken. Yeah, 4 trades, so they made a lot of moves at the trade deadline. You got the Islanders there. Obviously Vegas. So you got the same teams at the top. You got Detroit going 5-5, so that's normal. You got Calgary. We got Winnipeg Jets fan in here going 6-3-1.
Another.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know. Those are the same weeks that we get every fucking week, and it's super annoying.
That's good though. That's good though. 6-3-1's good. I don't know. Like I think it
doesn't make up any ground in the West, which is why it's frustrating. It's still a good week, but the 3 teams ahead of me win 7 games minimum. So it's we don't ever move up. So we kind of just sit in the same spot.
Yeah, fair enough. I can see your frustration. Moving down the list here. Tampa 5-4-1. They had a mediocre week. Edmonton 5-3-2. Toronto 3-6-1, and they think trading me is going to fix their problems. It ain't. Montreal 4-5-1. So basically a normal week for Montreal, especially with Take on the team. All right, so we're gonna skip Philly. Boston going 4-6, and then Dallas 4-3, 4-3. 3-4-3. What's up? What happened with Dallas this week? What?
Well, we had a forfeit in there, and so that didn't help.
Yeah. You also had one of the tougher weeks according to this scale here.
Yeah, and we had one of the best games that I've been part of since I've been playing League Two. We played a triple overtime game with St. Louis. That was just a knockdown, drag out game the whole time. It was one of the most fun games I've ever been a part of. And as soon as the game ended, like a couple of our guys got in a party with a couple of their guys, and it was like, we all got to exhale after the game was finally over because it was just intense the entire time, and it was a hell of a lot of fun. And Dose was part of it, and I wish he was here to talk about it too because that was so much fun.
That was against St. Louis, then?
Yep. A later game?
It was a late game, and I think we ended. I don't know. I think we ended like almost 1:00. It was so long.
We had our second game this week. We beat Edmonton 1-0 with 1:14 left in the 4th overtime.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Okay, so you had a close game with St. Louis. Congratulations. Jeez, I don't know why I've been bringing that up. Cole got a Nashville.
Shut up, because it was fun. That's why.
You had a close game with one of the worst teams, the second worst team in the league. Congratulations there, Dallas. You are stepping up in the world.
It was
fun. No,
I mean, we play hockey because it's fun.
It's kind of hard. Trade deadline's over, but I think you'll probably make a way for it to happen for me to end up on Dallas, won't you? Nashville. You guys
Reaper told us we can't get you.
Okay, good. Stop interrupting me. Nashville, you guys had such an amazing week last week. We were all fucking sucking your dick, and then this happened.
Yeah.
4-4-2. What happened, bro? Break it down for us.
I'll break it down for you. Basically, we just fell apart. People started arguing and got a little overconfident, and yeah, it was just I think overconfidence. We won both games on Sunday. We went into Monday, and people were like, "Let's practice." Da 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 da. And then people had other leagues, and it just sort of fell apart. People just showed up like 10 minutes before the game, and there was no real urgency to like win games, I guess you'd say. It's like, okay, we play these guys, they're good, da da da. I know we had a tough week, but we pulled out 4-4-2. I think that's not bad. So
that's not too bad. You did have one of the harder schedules.
Yeah. So I can
say our game was good that we played.
Yeah. Yeah, we did have a good game. But
other than
that, what's that?
You played out of your mind.
Yeah. No, it was a good game. But yeah, it's a new week, and we got 2 new players, and we're gonna mix it up a little bit. And some people's availability wasn't too good last week because of fucking Pro Series.
You were 4-4-2, so
Fucking Pro Series. Fuck.
Fucking wannabe hockey players.
Right? Fucking losers. Fuck.
But anyhow.
I'm reaching that part of the podcast where I start filling my shot glass and I start like pouring too much. So I'm getting there. I do want to mention that it's not because I was traded there, but Ottawa, the fact that the new owner stepping up, I think they forfeited the first 4 games of the week, and because there was an issue with the management there, no one really knew what was going on since Big Wet Cunt retired and started to focus on his life as an NHLer, even though he sucks. What's his name? Xbox Gamer? Is that this the most generic gamer tag I've ever heard of?
His real name is Steel something. I thought that's what Tank was telling me.
Steel City.
Yeah, he keeps
Steel City.
Steel City. Okay, so all right. I don't know. I think his tag saved on WhatsApp is like Xbox Gamer, so I thought that's what his gamer tag was. My bad. So Steel City stepping up, taking Ottawa 6-0 to finish the week, even though they did have one of the easier schedules. I think Ottawa's back in the race. I think they dropped a little bit, and it's unfortunate, but it's good. It's good they have an owner now.
Standings are a little bit wrong on the sheet there for like the league standing.
Are they?
Well, just because the teams that are tied with points, like Calgary is ahead of Detroit because our goal differential is better, and there was the teams right underneath Ottawa and Tampa. Like not on these standings. I'm talking about on the ones that you're on there, on Dawson for all league standings.
Yeah. Okay.
Ottawa should be ahead of Tampa Bay because the goal differential. They have the same amount of points, but the better goal differential goes ahead.
Okay. All right. I think that does it for Doss's Corner. I think I actually kind of want to end it by looking at the standings itself, and then maybe we could start looking at the player leaders. Although we'll most likely see.
There was one. Go back to that other page for 1 sec. There was one team that had 11.5 points.
You're the boss. Who's that? Buffalo?
Buffalo. 6-3-1 with the hardest schedule. That's a solid week for them. That's all I want to say.
Is there someone talking to you?
I mean, is there someone
I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think he's got feedback in his mic. That's all.
Either it's your mic or it feels like someone's like telling you what to say.
There's nobody else here, so I don't know.
Okay. Your mic goes from like clear to like it sounds like someone's talking to you on a telephone. My bad. All right. Okay. Sorry. So Buffalo, go ahead.
Well, that's a great week for them. 6-3-1, 11.5 strength of schedule. They needed to have a week like that to be able to move into or try and make a move on those higher spots in the East. Also, we'll give Philly their shout out.
No,
Good job,
we're not.
Phil.
We're moving on. No, fuck Philly. All right, let's look at the standings here. Philly at the bottom. Here we go. We're giving another shout out. Look at them at the bottom, 8th spot, out of a playoff spot there. Moving in on Montreal.
But what is their?
What's up?
They're missing 3 games. If
They are?
games are wins, they are actually in 6th place.
They're actually in 6th place. Okay. So that would mean Toronto would be in 7th, and Montreal would be in 8th.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Looking at these standings, breaking down quickly, we got Islanders still at the top. Detroit has managed to stay. Like I said last podcast, as long as you go at least 500 or a little bit better, you're staying exactly where you are. Ottawa's dropped because of their fucking issues there. They have dropped now to 3rd place, but I think they're going to pick it up. You got Tampa Bay and Buffalo looking eager to take fighting for that 4th spot, maybe potentially 3rd spot. And then Montreal and Philly fighting for 8th spot, apparently. And then Boston at the bottom. I think you were saying Boston had a better week, or was that Buffalo?
Buffalo was the one who had the good week. Boston.
Okay, so Boston. All right. Just because I hate the Boston owner, we're going to go look at his stats. Did I? My bad. Shutdown right D. There's your boy Zenden Shutdown there with -7. Tap out. There's your other boy -13. Actually, you know what? Now that I know that Larson is on the worst team in the league, one of the worst teams in the league, it actually makes me a little happy. Yeah, Raphael. I noticed how like no one wants to chime in here. They all feel bad for Buffalo or for Boston. All right, guys, fuck whatever.
I don't think Boston's that bad.
I think Boston's horrendous. But that's just me.
Boston, the team or the player?
Both.
Or both. Yeah.
Both. No, okay, we'll give Philly their shout out. They said they beat 3 of the best teams in the league. So what 3 teams were those? Because if Chicago's one of them, they weren't trying.
Well,
so who are the other 2?
we beat them 8-6. One of their losses was to us.
Yeah.
I don't know. Click on their logo and go look.
All right, man. Sorry. Jeez, I thought you'd be more informed. I don't know if I can see
No,
this.
it'll pop up. It'll pop up. Down to the bottom. Go down to the bottom.
Okay, I'm going down to the bottom.
Second page, and I think there might be 2 games on the third page from this week.
Yeah, that's
okay, well, look at this. They beat Philly. They beat Vegas 3-0. Vegas probably didn't input stats.
They did.
Oh, they did? Okay.
No, they did.
They did it, fucking bastards.
No, they did not.
Yeah, I said they didn't.
They didn't take that -3. Fucks.
And Colorado. So Colorado, Chicago, and Vegas.
Okay. So let's look
and
at
they beat Buffalo too.
So they lost. No, they beat Chicago. So Chicago, Colorado, and Vegas. So I guess those are the 3 teams they're mentioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Dark. I don't know if Dark was in the owners are bitching about some loss. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think Philly.
But see, they got smacked around by New York 7-0. Look at this.
That was
they
2
didn't put
weeks.
stats in for that.
They didn't.
Ago.
The first.
Well, even if you didn't put stats in for that, it's still a 7-0 win.
And no stats. Fuck you, Philly. Put in your stats, bitch. Jeez.
So they didn't get the -7.
We're jerk off. All right. Let's actually look at the player stats. I haven't looked at the player stats all season because I don't feel like glorifying this shit, but fuck it. Let's look at the leaders.
One player I do want to give a shout out to from my team is Seek Zero. I think it's supposed to be Seeko, like Sicko, but we call him Seek. He plays right D. I picked him when we were doing the bidding earlier in the season. I wanted to bring in another defenseman. Threw $500K on him. Ended up getting him. He's probably our best defenseman on the team right now. I don't think he's 8-3 with us, but he's very good.
All right, looking at some of these leaders. You got Poppy in front after he stat pad the first 2 weeks when we had no mercy rule. We got 102 points. You got Haxby there. He's got 100 points right behind him with 26 games played.
What do you mean you can't see it?
You can't see it?
No, I just see your Cobra symbol.
Did I stop broadcasting? No, it should be there. Share it with everyone.
Just click on Cobra's name.
Well, it should be presenting to everyone, so you should see it no matter what. It's like I'm shoving it down your up there.
I don't see it, but that's okay. Keep on talking.
Keep on talking. I like the sound of your voice. Here we go. So why does it say Poppy's team is Arizona here? What's
no
up with
comment.
That? No comment. That's just the stat system. Fuck them.
Yep.
Which doesn't even make sense.
100
He played for
points.
St. Louis last season. He didn't even play for Arizona.
Yeah, well, we're not going to dive into it. My stats is better. Cough, cough. You got Dark 2, 86 points. Chavares there, 82 points. I mean, you got Killzone up there, so that's good. I don't know who the fuck Blue Jays is, but he's killing it. You got JJ. Fucking A. There's a lot of players up there. Twisted Dream for Detroit. So that's one player they have up there for Detroit. He's been killing it for Detroit, so that's why if anyone's trying to trade it for him, I could have said no. For some reason, Slice is up there, 25th. That's it must be an error. Anyone here on this list stand out for you guys?
There it is. I can see it now.
Stand out for me?
Lost it. No,
Yeah.
Say
2 seconds ago.
Reach my team.
I can't see it.
Okay, well, it's important that everyone else can see it, Bacon. That's all that matters.
You're such a fucking cocksucker.
I also want 7 on defense there.
Sorry, who?
The 7th place guy on defense.
Oh, sorry. Let me scroll up here. Who? I don't see anyone there. 7th? I don't think 7th exists. No, I only see 6.
6 and 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see 7 anymore either.
I still don't see it. All right, goalies. No, all right, we'll give you your due. Your 7th is a defenseman. We'll sort this by points. Okay, but your plus minus is shit. So sort this by plus minus.
Oh, very good.
That's because we put our fucking stats in.
That's what it is, right? You put in your fucking stats. Fucking dirtbags. Yo, Zendon,
worst record on my team.
Zendon, I request that all of Vegas's management be suspended 6 games starting next week.
Me too.
All right, handle it.
Zendon is also suspended.
I paid.
Yeah.
I paid for a 24-hour extension on my stats. You might as well just take that out of the fucking package. Give me my $250.
It's a mistake. It's a 24-day extension.
It's a typo. It's a typo. Shit. All right, so I wanna answer some allegations here from Kong bribing officials. Welcome back to the playoffs, Philly.
It's all true.
Oh, what the fuck? How's he got updated stats here? All right, so did someone just update all the stats or something right when we were talking?
He did. He put his games in that he was missing.
Oh, okay, all right.
Just like I said.
So Montreal's out of a playoff spot right now. So I guess Kong's donation isn't going that well.
I see they're listening.
These pay for play schemes. Holy fuck. Let me take this one more shot here. All right, man. I mean, I really have nothing else to talk about in this podcast unless you guys want to bring something else to kill out the last 20 minutes. Bacon, you usually have some bone to pick with someone, even though we already gave you your segment.
Yeah, not this week. I pretty much said what I had to say. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk. Okay, you know what? No, we all gave our black horse last week, right? Sorry, I don't know why I went black. Dark horse. Or I guess I would say underdog. I don't know what you guys. I don't know where this expression dark horse.
Underdog. Yeah, me too.
Who called it dark horse? Someone called it.
Fucking Nashville. Bacon.
No, I didn't.
Bacon.
I don't call it dark horse.
It was definitely you.
I felt that term was very racist, and I was offended as I am 1/24 black.
Okay, well, you know what? This week, let's do the light horse. We'll do the light horse and our.
What, the light horse? What? No, let's just do the underdog. Okay, so everyone gave their fucking underdog last week. Has your opinions changed from last week to this week? Mine has.
Well,
but I want to know if any of your guys has. Yeah, well, fuck Toronto. I mean, no. Okay, so, fuck it, I'll go first. If you're going based on what Toronto did the week I was traded to them, where we played really well, we won a lot of games, and we smashed Ottawa and made Big Wet May cunt face faggot quit. Yeah, I would peg them as an underdog. Seeing as we did this week, then I start to change my tone a little bit. It's not because I was traded. Like I said, it looks like the forwards have no chemistry. And then that's what's going to kill us in the end. like practice games, and we can barely score like 1 or 2 goals against a practice game in club, never mind league. So, I mean, those are issues. I mean, as an owner, that's what I kind of look at. As a previous owner, I've owned before, so I kind of look at that like, yeah, that's an issue. So yeah, my underdog has changed. I'm now going to give my underdog to Philly for any particular reason other than to make him feel happy, so he doesn't off himself. All right, Philly's my underdog.
Where's the fun in that?
I don't know. I honestly pick Chicago for winning it. So it's kind of hard to pick an underdog when you firmly believe Chicago has the best chance of winning it. But I'm gonna go with Philly. Another good week, then they're my underdog. They're the ones that are come up. They got a playoff spot. They moved from 8th to 6th in 1 week. So I definitely peg them as my underdogs.
They just moved from 8th to 6th in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, technically yes, because their stats finally got inputted due to that 24-day fucking extension you guys offer. So as opinions changed since last week, I should say.
Yes, in both divisions for me.
All right, go ahead, bud.
In the East, it is now Buffalo after the week they had.
Who'd you pick last week? So start with who you picked last week and start with who you're picking this week.
Last week I chose Boston.
Okay. I can see why you're jumping ship. Continue.
Yeah, this week I'm picking Buffalo. Just obviously they had the good week, and I think defensively they are a better team now. If anybody's going to be able to knock off those top teams in the early rounds, it'll be them. And if they're able to get past that first round playing one of the better teams, then I think they'll go on a roll and go all the way. West, it is no longer. I picked Nashville last week. No longer. I'm going to say Dallas this time. Dallas has a whole new team, complete new team. And they're just going to go on a run.
Okay.
We're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Or we'll implode. We'll implode, or one of the two.
Either case, it'd be an epic story. So what about you, Bacon? Have your opinions changed from last week or no?
I don't remember what happened last week.
Last week you chose in the East. I don't remember, but in the West you chose Calgary.
Calgary, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go where to go. I'm gonna go with Toronto.
Good day.
This is just go against Cobra Day, isn't it? Fucking Reaper's not here. Let's just all pile on him.
I'm gonna go with Toronto, and then in the West, scroll up so I can see the bottom teams there.
All right. Okay, sure. All right. Here you go.
Who this Mason person is?
I'm gonna go with.
It's actually Cardona. Hey, what's up, boys?
Oh, it's Philly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Philly.
Hey, Cobra. Thanks for having some great faith in my team. Also, whoever picked Toronto, you're an idiot.
and then he mutes his mic.
Nothing against. Well, yeah, because I'm kind of at my girlfriend's house, so
Oh.
Pictures or no proof? We don't believe you.
Anyhow, and then on the West side, I'm gonna go with Edmonton.
Edmonton.
Yeah.
I feel like Cardona
you
is
have terrible picks this week.
Yeah, I know, right? I feel like Cardona is actually at his boyfriend's house. I don't feel like he's at his girlfriend's house. I feel like that's a lie. I feel like he's he's hiding in the closet. Yeah, for sure. Zenden, who's about to pass out because I've been hearing you yawn this whole entire podcast.
All right, well, can I actually?
I haven't yawned at all.
For the underdog in the ring here.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
Cardona. Cardona, you're new to the podcast. Since you're new, your seniority is like way down there near my nutsack, and Zendin's is way above. Zendin's is way above my cock. First, and then you're gonna follow. Thank you.
All right, cool.
Nice visual, thanks. I think I agree with Jets that Buffalo is they've always been a team that could score, but they had trouble stopping teams from scoring early in the year, and I think their defense has kind of come together lately. I don't even remember. I'll look at their roster real quick because I don't remember any significant moves they made to improve it.
They got Noah from us last weekend.
Yeah, okay, so maybe that'll help. Maybe that helped. But yeah, like I said, they're a team that could always score. When I was playing goalie against them, even last season, they were always a team that they just threw a whole bunch of shots at the net. And that can be frustrating as a goaltender, where you never know where the shots are going to come from. They're unorthodox. They just keep shooting, flipping pucks from the blue line at the net, all that kind of stuff. So they could always score some goals. They just had problems stopping people, and I think they've kind of come together now that way. So that'll be nice. A bunch of us kind of hyped up Boston over the last couple of weeks, and one of Boston's big problem was they have one really good line. I mean that Cannizaro, Klee, and Woody or Rufio, whoever, that Woody. First line, Cannizaro and Klee and Woody too are really good players. I mean I've probably had 20,000 conversations with Blaine about trying to get Klee. And they would never trade him.
Yeah, no, I've tried for that too.
Yeah, that dude is really good. But then after that first line, they have absolutely nothing.
No, and it seemed to me like they had decent goalies and they traded them away. I don't know who their goalies are now, but before they had who? Never mind, actually. They had Frisky Beaver, Beav is a good goalie. I don't know why they wanted to move him unless maybe he wanted to be traded.
Right. Beav's hot and cold. Beav will be the best goalie in the league for a week, and then the next week it'll look like he can never save a puck. So that's a little scary come playoff time. I like Beav a lot. I'd have him on my team any day. But he can be really streaky, and that can get frustrating come playoff time. But yeah, I mean, it seemed like the moves they made got them a little bit worse and not better.
Yep.
So I think and they're struggling now because of it, I think. They're always going to be competitive with that first line. Maybe that first line will go 4-2 every week, but then that second line is just going to go 0-6 or whatever, 0-5 or whatever every week. It's going to be a trouble.
I wouldn't even say they got worse. I just think the other teams got better.
Yeah, okay.
And they're just not keeping up.
Yep. I'll accept that answer. So as far as the West goes, I like Edmonton too.
They actually made some ground up on us, and other than
I don't know come playoff time, but they play a really hard defensive style of hockey. I mean, it seems like every game that we play with them is either 2-1 or 1-0 or it seems like it's always really low scoring games with them every time I see it. So
I can guarantee you if you don't pass them in the standings, they're out first round.
Why are they gonna play you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Wait, is Dallas actually still in the playoff spot? Jesus Christ.
They're just ahead of us.
Dallas is in 6th. So Dallas as of right now would be Vegas and or it would be Colorado, Nashville, Vegas, Dallas, and Calgary, Edmonton.
So for Dallas to be knocked out of the playoffs, they would have to lose every single game from here on out, and St. Louis would pretty much.
It's not even really
St. Louis would have to
possible.
win.
Like in the West, we already know who's making
it's
the
possible. It's possible. I once traded a dude to a team saying they're going to make the playoffs, and then they lost every single game in that week and fell out of the playoff spot. So no, it is definitely fucking possible. So Dallas would have to lose almost 70% of their games, and St. Louis would have to win 70% of their games to make the playoffs. And Nashville will most likely fall out.
I think St. Louis had 3 forfeits, I think, this week.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah, that's what you're going to have that.
I don't see, I don't know. I think
I'm talking miracle. I'm not talking like practical.
Who's going to be in the playoffs, and basically we're just fighting for seeds right now. We know 1 and 2. We pretty much know 1, 2, and 3. I would say 4 and 5, or maybe.
I think the East is a lot tighter than the West. The East is a lot tighter than the West.
The East, the Boston could finish second place still. It's like a 8-point gap between every team other than the Islanders.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so now we have the great, the wonderful, the awesome owner of Philly joining us on the podcast for the very first time. Sir, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, boys. Thanks for letting me join.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's more than welcome to join, man. Other than a handful of people, including other than Tank. Yeah, I was gonna say that. Thank you for.
Yeah, I was talking about Tank. I was trying to blow up the Habs owner on purpose today at work, just trying to see what would he do with if Tank came my way, and I was like, wait, what am I doing with my life trying to get Tank?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but.
Probably shouldn't say that on the podcast because Tank tends to listen.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey, Tank, how you doing?
He's mad at you, and you're most likely blacklisted.
Yeah, you're gone. You're gone. Your team.
Yeah, but talking about this weekend, just gonna point it out as the new Philly owner. I mean, I'm really thankful for the guys that have really helped me out since I joined, the league. And really, the other owners really working with me, trying to do trades. Because honestly, when I got in here, Philly was crap. Like they were the bottom team. It was just constant arguing. The second I got into the chat, but now the guys have really come together, and we've got our top line. We got a really good second line. We beat the top 3 teams this week in the West, which was unbelievable. Even with their second line, I mean, their second line was rolling through people as well. And if we played their second line, cool, but. Still to have those 3 wins and to know the guys that they won those 3 wins and got to move into a playoff spot, the guys are going bananas right now. So, but at the end of the day, the underdog, because I'm not going to say me because I'm not that kind of guy. I would honestly say the team to watch out for is Toronto, which is funny because I can't say really any other team. Can you pull up the standings real quick? I mean, I would say Buffalo, but. Buffalo has really been on a roll for now 2 weeks. Kind of like Zen said, they've really come together on the defensive side. So, as an underdog because they're kind of making their way up the standings. But in the West, I've got to say Dallas. Because when I first got here, we were rolling right through Dallas, and they made a whole bunch of trades. They got a whole bunch of new guys in. They really took out a bunch of problems on the lineup, and now it's like we played them, and I played my top line, my top goalie, my top line, and they murdered us 4-2-5-2. It was eye-opening because it was a whole new style of hockey. When I first played them, I was in net, and they didn't really get a chance to take many shots. And now when they played them now, it's just shots everywhere and a lot more organized, a lot more defensive surrounding. When they got in the zone, they made use of the puck. They cycled through. It was a lot different. It's a lot nicer to see them moving up the standings again. Man, joining in here.
Oh, fucking A. All right. I mean, the only way we could top that is some personal nudes from your boyfriend there.
True.
What's his name? And when did you decide to come out of the closet?
He's showing us right now.
Is this your boyfriend right here? Who's showing us their house? Hey, no, I was watching that. All right. Well, I hate to break it to the one who just joined, but this is the time we tend to end it. It is at 10:30. We have been running for about an hour and a half. I'm echoing through your mic. Steele, what are you doing? This dark image of you is scaring me. No, you can't hear you. All right, I'm going to have to mute you because your mic's echoing, man. Maybe next time you jump on the podcast.
Hello.
Oh, what the fuck is his name?
Hello.
I muted him. He unmuted. Damn it, Steele, you're echoing, dude.
Just getting mad at him. Fuck.
Yeah, I get mad at anyone who fucking echoes, dude. That shit's annoying. The feedback drives me nuts. All right, boys, we're gonna have to end this podcast. It has been great. Trade deadline has passed. We look forward to a couple more podcasts before we make the playoffs, and then we get to talk shit about everyone. Xbox here. My bad. My phone sucks. Yes. Steel fan, we'll try to get you back on the next podcast, man. We're wrapping it up, actually. My apologies. Thank you for joining, but you are joining late. Zenden, Dawson on here. Jets fan, Bacon. Thank you guys for coming on the podcast again. It's been a great week. I'm gonna leave you guys have a last message. Do you have anything else to say before we end it? Something catchy, preferably.
Go Dallas.
Go Dallas. Okay.
Fuck Dallas.
Fuck Dallas. That's better.
I'm down with fucking Dallas too.
You're down with fucking Dallas. All right.
You would like
one dude. One dude who's for Dallas. One dude says fuck Dallas, and one dude who's gay. All right.
I think that's what's happening here.
everyone, good luck next week, and we'll try to make the next podcast even more amazing when Doss returns, and hopefully we can get Reaper on to insult me the whole entire time. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.
Peace.